Now that our computer and the software are correctly configured, we will start to work on our maps to import into the software. To do so, or for this demonstration, we will focus on two screen sizes, 24-inch and 27-inch. The principle obviously applies also to different sizes, but you'll have to do some calculations to get the sizing right for the floor plans. We will also use readily available free to download softwares like Pixel Former to manipulate our bitmaps, and we will use Paint 3D for other parts of this configuration. You may have access to different softwares that may change the procedure slightly, but again, the principle still applies. The first thing to do is create a canvas. So that is the image or the blank canvas onto which we will add our maps or our floor maps. It's important to have the correct sizing for this. If you're working with a 24-inch screen, please use the following: width 1900 and height 880. Alternatively, if you're working on a 27-inch, 2530 for your width and 1200 for your height. So here we have our nice canvas onto which we can import our graphical details. Now, it's important to have these sizes right, because the PCNet software does not stretch or resize these images in any way. So you may end up having an image that's too small, or that is cut off on the edges if the sizing is not correct. Next, we will take a floor plan that's clean and it's ready to be used. Now, as you can see, this example is possibly not suitable to be used as it is, because some of the rooms are very small and you may end up having a lot of detectors here and the details won't be captured properly. You may have overcrowding of symbols in some areas, or symbols might have to be too small to be legible in order to fit in. The Fusion graphics package cannot have more than 124 devices on any page, meaning that the software will actually stop you from adding more detectors. So if you were hoping to have 200-300 devices on the one page, it means you will have to cut up the image. In this case, we will have one main page as a summary with buttons to dive into subsections, and then we will configure some subsections for to show the detectors individually. So we will start by grabbing this image with Control-Alt print screen, and we will plot it onto this page like so. Now, I always recommend to keep a bit of empty space on your right hand side, because here we may want to have buttons to jump to different sections of the building. We may have a company logo or something like that. In this case, we will have probably a company logo and some buttons. So next we will delete any unwanted markups. We'll delete some of these lines. We'll fill this part of the screen, and we can add another layer with our company logo. Okay, so this will be our first map, perhaps. Maybe to confirm what we have in each subsection, we can highlight certain areas as specific zones, perhaps. Something like this. Oh. So I can set the transparency levels like this. So we have a nice zone here, maybe. Oops. So we can add some zoning somehow. Obviously, you can be more creative or do more with other tools. Generally speaking, we can use these as our subsections as well, if need be. Okay. Now we can save this as, so actually export it as our first file. So this could be, say, main page, perhaps. And then we can, as an example, we can do just one. Can do something else on the just work on one sub map. And then we can get rid of the parts we don't want to see. Let's see. Okay. So now we have two maps to work with. This would be the subsection where we can plot detectors onto, and one main page. That was the one we looked at before, to just have like an overview of the whole floor. Something to keep in mind also, this white might not provide good contrast. This white background may not provide good contrast with the detectors, with the symbols on the page. So it's possibly a good idea just to have the whole floor, maybe a tinge of gray or something like that. Like so. You can choose a color that you like. Yellow is probably not a good idea because it might look just old. So now we export this as subsection 1, and our backgrounds are configured.